I oh shoot. Hey. Oh man, I put the wrong time on this thing. Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing? How you doing? You hear me?
Hold on. Yeah, I can hear you. You didn't check your private chat. I was grabbing me some water.
I check a lot of things because I actually had it scheduled
Yeah,
for
but
11:30 a.m.
yeah, you don't check.
Oh
You're not
man,
checking a lot of things then.
this is okay. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. How you doing?
I
Just
don't know.
trying to get.
I've been living in the crazy world. I'm trying to find out where the hell I'm going next. That's what's going on.
Well, if you believe in the Bible, this is what they call the end, the beginning of the end. And when
Well,
mystery of iniquity, what's right is now wrong, and what's wrong is right. That's the way we live in this country. You know, the sky isn't
that's
up, the
exactly
sky is
right.
down. So
Well, that's exactly right. And I've been seeing a lot of
I'll find.
buffoonery, coonery, and more. As a matter of fact, thanks for your little funny message earlier about Al Green. That was actually kind of funny.
Oh,
About the
not. We got to
I,
clarify what Al Green it is. What you got to clarify for everybody what Al Green it is. Not Al Green. I'm so tired of being alone, love and happiness. Al Green. We're talking about Representative
I'm
Al
talking about
Green.
Congressman Al Green, who's sitting on the damn congressional floor talking about he's proud to be a member of the LGBTQIA or something like that.
Right, he's an ally. That's what he said.
Now, see, I got a big problem with Al Green because Al Green a couple years ago was talking about he needs security and he had to get Nation Islam security to secure him at an event or something, and he does that. I'm like, come on. I don't know, man. It is what it is, man. But I'm like, come on, man. Why did you say that? I mean, he discussed the history of them and everything. I'm like, come on, man, stop. Just stop.
Well, well, it just goes to show you how I didn't watch the video that you sent. I only saw the headline and the picture. If you want to show it for everybody to see, that's on you. But truth be told, this was somebody. It goes to show you practically how useless and ineffective the Congressional Black Caucus has been, and what our so-called black leaders, and he's not a leader, but black politicians have been over the last, I would say, 50 years, starting in the 1970s when blacks started to get political power. Remember, we actually had, before that, we had political power back in the 1800s after Reconstruction. You had an influx of black representatives and senators. We had the first black governor in the country with PBS Pinchback. You had the first black lieutenant governor, Oscar Dunn, who was from New Orleans. PBS Pinchback, obviously in Louisiana. So we had and was starting to gain traction, of course, when Rutherford B. Hayes did the New Compromise and pulled out and withdrew the federal troops from the South. That's where all hell broke loose, and you had all of these laws that were put in place, like grandfather clauses and poll tax to prevent black people from voting. And that goes to show you also those were local leaders, those were state leaders that were passing these. So any idiot or fool like and I think you know where I'm going with it. Anybody that says that black people were free to vote in the 18 from the passage of 15th Amendment, they need to go back and look at their history books, because clearly local officials and state officials had something to say about black people from voting. They used violence to prevent them from voting. 1866, let's not I believe it's 1886 in Opelousas, Louisiana. the massacres. So of the black, about 16 blacks killed trying to vote. The race riots that you had all across the South and in the North, because it wasn't just in the South. And this is not me trying to be a ploy for the Democratic Party, by no means. I don't want anybody to think that, because often what we hear is you got to go out and vote because your ancestors fought. But what they really want you to do is vote Democrat. They don't want you to use your mind and think, because voting is a strategy. It is not the salvation and end all and be all of black people. If it were, we'd be 10 times ahead of where we are now. And so when we get Negroes like this Al Green and Sheila Jackson Lee, who I don't even know if I want to watch the video, because I would hang my head in shame. It's just like I saw those guys tap dancing like Sammy Davis Jr. and Gregory Hines at the Black Wall Street. I mean, my God, it looked like the Roots revival. Chicken. All missing was chicken. All the thing was missing was Chicken George and Kizzy. No, I don't want to do that. And Fiddler. So I'm not going to do. I got to ask the question: what does the I and A stand for in LGBTQ? Just curious.
I stands for intersectionality. I think A stands for asexual or something like that.
Asexual, right? So it's not just LGBT. The actual acronym is LGBTQIA. The Q stands for queer, which I thought was a slur. If you call someone a queer, but they call themselves queers, or they could say questioning.
Well, Gavin, they gonna put a P on there soon. They can put a P on there soon. That could be better for
You think so?
So
you think they'll be out? You think they will be out and bold enough, out and open with it?
They might say pansexual, man. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised at what they do right now. It is what it is. I mean, speaking of that,
it is what it is. But it's just, my parents were talking about it. It's like everywhere you go right now, you're bombarded with LGBTQ. But like I said, getting back to the
June first. Get out of June. Maybe they'll slow down a bit. How do we get out of June?
I don't know if I don't necessarily think they'll slow down out of June. I think that they're pushing it forward. We still got a week left from today. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring that Equality Act on the floor of the Senate, although what I have seen lately, may not have enough votes to get that passed anyway. Same thing with the House Bill 127. I don't think they will pass a gun rights bill. What's up, Doc Boss?
Man, how you doing, guys? Now, let me say something very interesting, because we've had a lot of tricks, charades, and over the last week. We've had the Juneteenth fiasco, which actually really ain't nothing but a rainbow fiasco when you really look at it in some places. That ain't nothing but a charade. Check this out. So they had Juneteenth, which LGBTQIA got their nose in, and then they're gonna have a pride parade this Saturday. But what got me is that Chauvin's trial is Friday, and I told somebody, they said, well, is BLM be involved? I said, no, they're not gonna be able to get involved on Friday. They're gonna be too involved on getting ready to have pride parade on Saturday. See, I mean, that's just jiving, but I'm just saying that, are you allowed to show up right now?
Well, okay, so what you want to address first? Derek Chauvin's sentencing, or you want to address BLM?
We'll get to him in a minute. I'm just saying the Juneteenth thing with the restaurant in Georgia, like IKEA, they said they put on watermelon fried chicken. I'm like, first off, let's get real, man. Let's get real.
I saw that.
Yeah, I know.
Bullshit. They did that on purpose.
It is what it is, but here's the problem.
But that was the big issue. That's the big issue why I was really mum on them making that a holiday. Now, I'm sure you may know this, Bernard, but did you know that Donald Trump's platinum plan, he had making Juneteenth a holiday?
Exactly.
So all Biden did, and I remember when Roly Poly beep, 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 was talking about it on his channel when he was dissecting Trump's plan, talking about how expensive Biden's plan is and how Biden has he has all of these things in here. It's more concise when he's arguing with Ice Cube and others about it. But the thing is that it may have been more concise, but guess what? He didn't follow through with the shit. He hasn't done anything within that, remotely within that plan. All he's been given is talk. The plans he has followed with have been for he and his vice president, Harris, the only things they have done have been for LGBTQ. They followed with that plan. Remember his first days, he signed those executive orders. Let's not forget the H-1B visas that Kamala Harris is and have been fighting for, which allows Indian immigrants to qualify for those tech jobs. That's why she was picked. It was really, the reason why Barack Obama was president is the same reason why Kamala Harris is vice president. The nation, United States, was trying to reopen its relationship with Africa and the African nations like Kenya and the Republic of Congo and Tanzania and so forth. Because Africa is home to what? All the minerals, all the resources. So with Kamala being Indian on her mom's side, she would have been a perfect, I guess, I'm trying to think of the right word. I don't want to say ambassador, but she would have basically been I guess liaison probably would be the perfect word to get, establish that relationship back. So that's why they're pushing hard for all of these Asian immigrants and, these COVID-19 Asian crimes bills and so forth. And he essentially, what you got with Juneteenth, let's look at Juneteenth, because I interrupted you. I'm sorry, you were about to say something about it. You wanted to.
No, go ahead, because I'm going to bring up Juneteenth in a minute, what I got to say about that.
All right, well, here's the thing about Juneteenth. I never celebrated that shit. And let me be clear, that's not a disrespect on the holiday. I just never knew anything about it. I never knew about it until I got outside of, when I got outside of college. And I remember the radio stations up in Baton Rouge was Q106.5, R&B station. They would notify you, the Juneteenth Fest going live this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Live barbecue, live music featuring Bobby Bell and the Blues Band and all of this stuff, Tucker, all of this stuff. That's how I knew about Juneteenth, but I didn't know what it really was until, later on, and I did my research into it. Now, you look at it, it's really something sad that we would be celebrating because you're talking about commemorating the end of slavery, but these Negroes, from what Judge Joe Brown has said, and I'm just listening to him, they didn't believe the black soldiers that told them they were free until the white man came along and said that they were free. And that's kind of how we do each other today. Now, we believe that some of us believe that the white man's ice is colder. So I won't believe anything until he says something. You could have two lawyers, one black, one white. The black cup, if you're black, if the defendant is black, they'll think that the white lawyer may be better than the black lawyer just because they want to throw more money on them. Not all of them think like that, but there's a notion in our community that we have that mindset. Now, I'm not saying Juneteenth isn't something to be commemorated. It should be, to celebrate the end of slavery. But that was just in Texas. That was a local thing. Like I talked to people who live out there. That was something locally that they may have had. It wasn't something I thought would be nationally. And they bring that, and I'm trying to be respectful because I know it's an elderly woman that was pushing it. But I saw the video of her at the White House, Miss Opal Lee, And I was disgusted by what I saw. I know she's in her 90s and stuff, but they brought her out, paraded her around. They put that video up with her. This is the pen that Joe Biden signed. You know, he signed this because Juneteenth isn't about slave. She said it's not about white people. It's not about black people. It's about America. Ending of slavery. Well, ma'am, with all due respect, if it's not about being black, then why were black people the only ones enslaved? You feel me?
You know what?
If you
I
make
got
a
something to
comment,
say about this one. Um, I got something to say about that. And actually, tell you the truth, there need to be some correction on that because actually, um, 1865, actually, until that Indian Treaty of 1866, you had Native Americans that still had black
right?
people on reservations. So actually, the whole thing is actually still convoluted anyway. It ain't even 100% correct. Now, let me say this: 50, you got 100 senators that voted on this bill, right? Unanimously, and 90, I mean, no, 98 of them are white or but Cory Booker is a half breed, I guess, house Negro, and you have Tim Scott, and I almost said Tom Scott, by the way, right? But nevertheless, so if those are the people voted on this bill, what do you think this holiday would? It only benefits federal workers. It doesn't benefit people working at Home Depot or Lowe's or McDonald's or something. So really,
It's a
you might not
federal
even get
holiday,
it.
right?
That's right.
Well, what I expected is that it's a federal holiday, and all that's going to happen is that it's going to be another Macy's 1 day sale and a twerk fest. You know,
They
you're
had
gonna
a
have
twerk fest. They had a twerk fest
they
for
did
Juneteenth, by the way.
IKEA the IKEA incident. You're gonna see more white people wearing dashikis at work the day before. You know, wear dashikis. They're gonna come out looking like Akeem the Dream. You're gonna see more. You're gonna see more wiggers than an 8 Mile movie, 8 Mile premiere featuring Eminem. Man, I that's just my thought on it. My big thing, my biggest concern with it. I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, people can do what they are free to do whatever they want to do. But outside of okay, you think about this. We have the only holiday that we have that was named after a is Dr. King's holiday before Juneteenth, and no legislation, nothing on reparations. You mentioned the senators; they signed that bill unanimously. They'll give you a holiday, little symbolic tokens, but they won't give you any real tangibles with it because I'm pretty sure if you attach reparations to it, see, they don't mention the reparations aspect of it that the people were still slaves even at the end of the Civil War. The Civil War ended and when Grant surrendered at Appomattox to, I'm sorry, not Grant, Robert E. Lee surrendered to Grant at the courthouse, remember? So they still had these slaves working on these plantations. They forced them, even after slavery, to be sharecroppers. They barely made any money on it, which was practically a continuation of slavery. They gave no reparations. Biden has stated emphatically he's not in favor of it. Harris has stated that she will not do anything specifically for black people. And Mitch McConnell has stated he's opposed to reparations. And you know what? So have other. That's not just the Republicans; they're Democrats who are opposed to it. Clyburn, and he was up there when Biden was signing this holiday into law. I'll never forget when Clyburn spoke at the primaries out in South Carolina and called Joe Biden an honorary black man, according to Cory Booker. Just so that's the type of Negroes we got. We have no leadership in here. They offer you no tangibles. It's just tap dancing, it's singing and buffooning. I'm just sick of. I'm done with it. I'm done with it.
Okay, now let
And
me say
these
this.
elders are not fight. And these elders, the fact that all they did was want to fight to have a holiday recognized instead of leaving a legacy for their children, shows how bad the mindset of our elders are.
Right. Well, with I was talking to a guy the other day, and we talked about this, but we also talked about something else, and this is kind of like not even relevant to Juneteenth, but it's relevant to the state of the mind. This is not something I would even bring up a lot of time to talk about unless I just did a whole show on it. But I would have to bring it to another thing. You see, what's the brother name out of Miami? Trick Daddy. Trick Daddy. So Trick Daddy made a comment that Jay-Z is not the best rapper and Beyonce can't sing.
And Beyonce wasn't the best singer.
And now they go on this cancel thing. I'm like, well, I mean, if he said Jay-Z not the best rapper, that's fine. And he said it on cancel culture because I could name a lot of white people and Asians or Indian or whatever you want to call it, Mexican, Latino, that have said some very bad things about us, and they wouldn't cancel them. So why are you going all in on Trick Daddy? You see what I'm saying? But that's how it goes. That's what I'm just saying. So same thing with Biden and everybody else. It's just the symbolism we get, but then we say, "Oh no, I'm going to attack you." That's like Gavin. If I was selling a pair of shoes $25, right, and they weren't name brand, and you were selling them for $50, and you had Nike. I mean, mine's 25, but I gotta wear them Nikes because they're hot. But then again, it's still a tennis shoe, So that's how I look at it.
Well, let's say this: whatever happened to freedom of speech? Whatever happened to that? So he has his opinion about Jay-Z and Beyonce, and gets his restaurant. I saw that his restaurant got negative reviews just over that. Let me say this. There are three groups, Bernard, you do not mess with in this country. Gays, that includes LGBTQ, Jews, and LGBTQ tied with the feminists. So that LGBTQ and feminists, Jews, and the Beehive. I'll never forget 106 in Park got the Beehive. 106 in Park got canceled after a joke that was made about Blue Ivy's hair. And they fired not only those hosts, they canceled the show. As a result of that, they're a highly successful television program on BET. They canceled. How much power does Jay-Z and Beyonce have? Obviously, a lot.
Got that right, goddamn. At least a lot of power.
Right. And so somebody gives their opinion. You know what? I don't think, and do I think if Jay-Z is the greatest rapper alive? I don't think so. Greatest rapper.
I don't think so either, but I mean, he came in at a good time though.
I don't think Beyonce is the greatest singer alive either. I think Aretha had something to say about that. And I'm not I have an old soul, but I mean, I've heard Mariah Carey, before obviously Nick Cannon took the voice in the divorce. She had one of the best and has one of the best vocal registers I've ever heard. There's countless other singers I've seen. Beyonce may be the most successful. She's out there. That's who the record company puts out there. This is what they want you to be. This is what you to look like. But do I think that means she's the greatest singer of all time. No, she might be the greatest marketed singer.
It's kind of interesting you said
I
that
mean,
because
Whitney Houston. Who could sing better, Whitney or Beyonce? Most people would say Whitney.
for the ones that know Whitney, you gotta understand. You probably got a guy out there right now that thinks Drake is the best rapper. So, I don't know,
Hell no.
but hey, I'm just telling you what something that I didn't might think. But what I'm saying though is that when you look at it, I'm just like y'all going all on him. Y'all, it's a whole lot of people y'all going on besides him. He just made a statement. But the cancel
He
culture,
gave his
the
opinion.
ambition,
Fuck cancel
right?
culture.
Well, I'm glad you said that. I've been saying the same thing. It's time to
Cancel
push back.
culture.
Even Bill Maher realized that cancel culture ain't doing so good.
And Bill Maher's an ass, but Bill Maher's an asshole too. He's a racist asshole.
Oh yeah.
I don't like Bill Maher because Bill Maher is part of that cabal. I remember back in the day, he always says a lot of slick shit, and he said some stuff about. I'll never forget when he made some comments and said the reason why O.J. Simpson got off was because we know Mark Furman said the N-word, but we know O.J. killed his wife. Those guys, those clowns like that, those talking heads, they know the research. They don't even do research. They spout their opinions. People listen to them, and those people don't do research. People could research that case, Bernard, by reading books and see that man didn't do that. Just talking about it. But cancel culture is a joke. I mean, cancel culture, social media has been a double-edged sword. It's allowed people to grow their businesses and platforms, but it's also it's giving everybody what?
Michael Eric Dyson saved Bill Maher too because he came when they showed a cape on that day. Remember? I know.
Ice Cube did too. Although Ice he didn't really save Bill Maher, but he didn't really hammer it home. And they brought Michael Eric Dyson on it. Michael Eric Dyson is, I lost all respect for him. That's just a fast talking, pimping Negro. That's all that is. He uses big words and he uses big words and he'll hypnotize you. But he ain't shit.
Well, but I was looking at this thing, and we had a big thing down here in Virginia.
Look what he did with the Red Table Talk. Look what he did with Kobe Bryant when Gayle King made those comments. He didn't attack Gayle. He stood up for Gayle, but didn't really stand up for Kobe and tried to, and it seemed like imply that Kobe did something wrong. And let's not forget what he did with Bill Cosby. Yeah, exactly. He's a word juggler. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, that's all good because I just want to bring this point up that, well, down here in Virginia yesterday, they had a school board thing in Loudoun County, Virginia. That's outside of D.C. So they had a big one parent got tackled or whatever. But they had a thing over the class. They were trying to teach. The school board had voted to treat transgenderism in the school, and they had a big meeting over it. I could have actually sent it out, but I'm just telling you, a lot of people, parents and school board are having conflicts about this transgender education coming to school. So they were actually, singing the USA and God Bless America and all that, but those people were very mad. And I said, you got to watch these school board meetings. You got to get involved in this stuff now because this wave of transgender is all coming down. They're trying to hammer down through the education system. But it's happening right here in Virginia, like an hour and 30 minutes up the road. Now, when my friend from Texas was down here, and we rode up to D.C. the other night, and I was amazed. First of all, it took a long time to get in the place we went to. I was like, damn, these guys were pushy as bar or whatever, club or whatever. But to me, I mean, DC and up there in Virginia ain't nothing but a bunch of rainbow stuff up there. I'm just letting you know. I mean, like Skittles rainbow shit. But
Oh,
what
no
I'm
doubt.
saying,
Well, I mean,
but
The All Lives Matter or Black Lives Matter by Pennsylvania Avenue, I think, is painted in rainbow colors. So,
yeah,
yeah, I know about
but
all of that.
I'm glad to see that they were fighting back. But that's mostly white people. I say the daggone, we got to watch our children in schools with this. I mean, you got them teaching children how to masturbate and all this other wacky loony stuff. We just got back to the masculine component. The masculine component is like almost gone. I mean, even with this crazy mess with this football player for the Raiders, I'm like, come on, man. Really? You had that? But then again, it's pride. More somebody would do that. But then they canceled him too because they found out he was a Republican. So it's funny. They went after him on Twitter because they found out he's a Republican. They voted for Trump or something. But what I'm
Well,
saying is, the stuff is
yeah,
too
well,
loony.
well, like I said, cancel culture makes no sense. The world makes no sense now because we're in the end, just like I said. And what I'll say about that, I looked at the guy's statistics. The man, the man you're talking about, he actually has only Carl Nassib. Yeah, he's only amassed 20 and a half sacks in 4 years, which is not even a top 10 player, not a top 10 defensive lineman. So he
Yeah.
doesn't even he doesn't play that many downs.
Hey, they had to throw it
That's just
out there
like
for you.
right. Well, it's just like with Michael Sam. It's like when and Michael Sam was the first openly gay player that came out before the draft, but it was all set up. You could tell because I remember when ESPN had the cameras on him when he got the call, and he had his boyfriend there, and they were shoving cake. I didn't see all of this, but I saw they kissing each other, and then they said shoving cake in the mouth. You know, it was all exaggerated.
On
How's he
live TV.
style?
On live
Yeah, it was
TV.
all exaggerated. They had ESPN had actual headlines wondering how Michael Sam showers with everybody else. I'm not kidding you. They were asking stuff like that, and I would be. This is when he was drafted by the St. Louis Rams. So, dude wasn't even that good.
Well, the agenda's being pushed hard, but what I'm saying, when it comes to that, and I looked at that, then of course you had Jason Collins, who Obama said, "Come on to the White House, you're so courageous for what you did."
Right.
And, oh
And
God,
I remember when that sellout actually got on MTV and said hating someone for their sexual orientation is no different than hating somebody for the color of their skin.
Barack Obama said that, right?
And,
Oh yeah, he said. Yeah, he said that. I know he said that. That crazy man. But you know,
he said that on the MTV Music Awards back in 2012. Obama
might be trying to cancel us. Man. Dad got mad because we said that. Might be zooming in on us. You there? It might dad go zoom in on us. Yeah. Wow. That's good. Wow. Well, I mean, actually, he's right, and he did compare it to segregation and stuff like that. But I just wanted to know, like, I mean, it's Frank Nitty, you're right. The agenda's being pushed. They are bootleg coons by the most part. For the most part, most of them are. Um, Let's see. Hello, Davita Jenkins. Madame Magna and Doc Boss is in the building. Okay, I just had to make sure. I just want to say, I'm glad y'all on actually. Um, oh, it's back. I think it's back. Yeah.
Said connection was unstable. I don't know
I
what's
guess
going
they
on
didn't
there.
want you talking about the wrong people. Hey man, come on back here. I guess they got a little upset. Hey, look, the woke police got a little upset. Okay, is that fine? No, I'm joking. Go ahead. You hear me?
I'm here.
Okay, I heard you talking about that sellout and all that. I think the woke police might have
Well,
got a
what I
little
said
upset.
was that that was Jason Collins who made that comment at the MTV Music Awards back in 2012.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah,
So
yeah, because Jason Collins. Okay, because I'm gonna say I couldn't have seen Barack Obama music award, but yeah, Jason
right. Well,
Collins
I remember.
would say something like that. Wow, what's going on with the goddamn signal, man? Damn.
Okay, I keep getting.
Oh,
I'm pretty confident because they're saying that there's an unstable connection on StreamYard, but my connection, I'm close to my router, and I got a full set of 5 bars here.
I don't know what's going on.
Stream.
I'm
Ain't nothing
sitting,
wrong. I said
yeah, I'm
I
sitting
got
here
full
right
3 bars.
I don't know what's going
So
on.
it's not the stream. It's not my internet.
Okay. Well, we should keep rolling with it. But I I do know that we have a couple of interesting things going on. This is also Black Music Month, so and that's being co-opted by the Rainbow Coalition or Rainbow Flags, which is another thing. We got Black Music Month, so we got a lot of things in the month of June, but we don't know it because we've been so convoluted with this crazy stuff they got going on. Now, I would want to say one thing. Biden had a press conference. They talking about crime in cities and stuff and all that. And they talked about we need to stop illegal gun trafficking, blah blah blah, and all that. I said, no, wait a minute now. This man gonna start talking about almost some crime bill type stuff in a minute. You watch and see. I'm trying to tell you, it's coming. He gonna come up with some crime bill type stuff. Because now they talking about tackling crime. So how are you going to tackle crime? That's my question. And it's in big cities like New York, um, Portland, California, well, Portland mostly white, California, you know, you've been letting the purge go on for a whole year. Now you want to stop it? Too late. As a matter of fact, the new Purge movie comes out July 4th. Ain't that something? It's called The Purge Forever.
Right. Well, what's going on, man? As far as the purging, what I saw with the Biden statement on curtailing crime, I think it'll be another wasted effort by the feds, and certainly will try and impact the rights of American citizens as far as owning guns and so forth. He talked about closing the loopholes at gun shows and with gun dealers threatening to take away their licenses if they don't do background checks. They already do that. If you go and apply, you fill out an application and they run it through with the state and the national government, National Bureau of Crimes identification. They do all of that. So
Yep.
I just find it.
I just
What laws to curtail murder? Murder's been going on before they were even guns.
well, you're right about that, sir. Well, the way I look at it, I don't know what he can do because it's some fact of the daggone a lot. All these people are not getting killed by guns. People are getting beat up, stabbed, robbed, whatever. Everybody not even getting killed. I mean, some people are getting, you know, it's, it's been, hey, what they do what they do, and they're gonna keep on. Other people are gonna join the party now. A lot of people out of work, and a lot of people are homeless. So this is what could be going on. Empty in prisons. Um, so a lot of things are going on, and I would say it's gonna get very bad. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a long, hot summer. I saw today one thing, Palm Springs, I think the degrees 123. But I think it's gonna be a long, hot summer as far as killing too. I ain't talking about no temperature out there in this guy. I'm talking about, a lot of killing going on this summer. So be careful. We gotta be careful. I mean, keep
But
keep our
I
head
don't
on the
know if you
swivel.
noticed, they keep. I don't know if you noticed, but
We have to keep
I
our
keep
head on
getting
the
out of the
swivel.
stream. I'm not. I keep getting kicked out.
I'm not sure how we can tackle all this violent. They talking about tackling violent crime. I'm like, first of all, I mean, go around. I mean, people, been got condition called hay fever, being locked down for a year. This thing is getting really worse. So, they even fighting on airplanes now. Flight laid off workers. So last year now, flight shortages, delays, getting stuck on planes and getting dropped off with the passengers over masks. Got a lot of stuff going on, man. Purge is not fun, but hey, I'm glad I watched Purge movies when I was younger, so I can understand exactly what they're doing now.
They,
Hey,
to Captain Crunch Entertainment, there are already
just
laws
like
on the books that there are already laws on the books that prevent you from illegal possession of a firearm. If you're a felon, you can't carry a firearm. They already have that. They have laws on the books in different states about what guns you can carry. We got to clarify, what illegal gun are you talking about? What's illegal? Because even in California, it was illegal to have an AR-15.
right now, Gavin, I got to ask you
If I
one
bring my gun,
big question.
if I bring my
Go,
handguns to
go ahead.
California right now, I'd be a criminal. I said, if I bring my guns, you got to watch the laws of the state, because if you bring certain guns, even handguns, to California, you got to go through a whole protocol and having them registered there.
Okay, got a question, big
But
question for you before I get out of here. It's a stream. I don't know the stream. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, you got the trial. I mean, the sentencing coming up Friday. So your thoughts on the? Thing I see. I see. Ellison is already getting scared or something. Keith Ellison, he's getting a little
let me
scared.
say this: I thought that was utterly disgusting for an attorney general. Before a sentencing is to be completed, the chief prosecutor would actually say that he thinks that the judge should go light on Derek, not light or hard, but he felt sorry for Derek Chauvin. Excuse me? If you feel that inclined to continue to be a criminal defense lawyer, then you need to step down as AG. You are the representative. He is the attorney general of the entire state, meaning he is the chief attorney for the state of Minnesota. So, and he was the lead prosecutor, although he didn't do the prosecuting. His team did. And for him to get up there saying that this is not about revenge, and I hope the judge doesn't go light or heavy, and you're essentially saying you want the judge to go light. You should have enough respect to say nothing at all, or saying, I want justice to be served. You kill somebody, you should do the maximum time, depending on the circumstances. This man had 9 minutes to get up off of George Floyd. He had this man handcuffed. He continued to lay on his back, despite the fact he kept saying he couldn't breathe. His other officers that were there, who were his subordinates, they didn't tell him anything. So I think it's utterly stupid for Erickson to say that. And I think that's just little cold words because they moved the sentencing to Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. It's Friday and it's going to be Saturday. People are going to be off Saturday. So I think they're preparing when they give this sentence. I will not be shocked if he gets less than 20 years. That's my personal opinion. I would not be shocked if that happens.
Wow. A sentence on a Saturday. Wow. Oh, that's interesting.
Well, remember George Zimmerman was acquitted on a Saturday.
Yeah, I know.
They're doing the sentencing on a Saturday, Friday, and Saturday, the weekend, because if this judge gives him less than 10 years, we know all hell is going to break loose. So the cops will be able to deal with protesters on a Saturday because nobody's working on a Saturday. Everybody's usually is home on a weekend. Can't do it when it's the middle of the day. It's much harder to control.
I'm getting ready for the setup. I know they're about to set something up. I know how nefarious they can get. So we got to watch out for this thing.
Right.
But I'm just looking at it in the context of how they're going to handle this because to me,
I'm wondering if I think because the Floyd family has been paid off, I'm praying they don't say nothing stupid like this. I hope we don't get another Botham John situation.
Well, when Keith Ellison said what he said, it almost reminded me of the judge.
What did you say?
You hear me? When Keith Ellison said what he said, it reminded me of Tammy Kemp. Shit. The judge, the female judge that handled the latest Bible and stuff, That's what that reminded me of. Keith Ellison. Hey, it is what it is, man. That's interesting. Wow. Stream is not bars. Hey, Gavin. You hear me? If it's less than a dime, hey man, if it's less than a dime, it won't end well. But then again, Saturday is a pride parade, so it may not be out there anyway. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Look, we were about to end it anyway. I think we were about to wrap it up anyway, man. But they really missed.
He says he thinks he can get less than a dime.
That might be a possibility.
and all hell will break loose. But then again, it might not break loose, Gavin, because guess what? Remember, it's Saturday is Pride Parade Day. So are you gonna mess up your Pride Parade to deal with a little George Floyd incident? We don't know. But I will say this: that with all due respect to you, everybody, hey, just get ready. You don't know what could happen this weekend. Every time you look around, something new, different's happening. But by the way, I got to give you some props on the last couple of shows you've been doing, Gavin. Please donate to the brother Gavin Rashad Esquire, dollar sign Gavin Rashad Esquire. He had been in timeout by the woke police, but he's out of timeout now by the woke police. So um, that's saying if you want to cash at me, you can dollar sign 1919 BJ, but that is totally optional to you. And Gavin has a show tomorrow night with Sean James, and who knows, he may
O'clock
even
Central, 9 o'clock Eastern.
9 o'clock Eastern, 8 p.m. Central time, right? That's right.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, there's been a lot of things, twists and turns. And by the way, before I go, how is the weather down there? I know you said you had a tropical storm last week and stuff, so I didn't really get to
Oh,
talk about
it's hot. It's raining.
it.
It's been raining off and on. Still have it rains down here because we're right by the Gulf, and it's been active, but it's been fairly hot. It's not raining right now.
Well, I know that in Texas last week, I think I was reading about smart meters, something where they raised the temperature on smart meters or something like that. So,
Right.
but I do know
Same.
that they wanted them to conserve energy again. But ERCOT got to get to the bottom of that situation. Got to read some more about it. But I would just say, if you're wild summer, um, hey, you don't know what could happen. I mean, hey, man, I just said, hey, I told the guy asked me the other day, how you like it, how you like living? I said, look, man, 34 years old, July 16th, man. I told him I'd be all right, but I just said I just been seeing the wild stuff here. But the good thing is, guess what? A lot of stuff I've been reading about for years is finally coming to fruition. And hey, it is what it is. So either you're gonna go out with a bang or go out with a whimper, or you just gonna stay in the back. But either way, it's coming to your door. You might want to get ready. This thing is going down like a ton of bricks, and it's coming fast. It's gonna hit you like a ton of bricks if you don't realize what's going on.
Right.
So, but I do want you to take your time, brother. Get you some rest. And I want you to have a great show with Sean James tomorrow night as well.
I appreciate
And
it,
I'm
my
sure
brother.
because you always have some hot topics. And the last time I was on there, it was you and Queen Amadai, Shakur, Brother Ron,
Touch
and
Joe Brown.
you for temporarily, yes. And your dad
Right.
also brings some great
My dad.
content.
Right.
So speaking of that, I'm glad that like I said, my dad's 81. I think dad maybe is 68 or something, right? 69. All
My
right.
dad.
Yeah.
My dad is 68.
Yeah. I remember you saying it. So I'm glad he's still around, and I'm glad mine's still around. My mom died 3 years ago, but you know, hey, so yeah, I deal with those things. But hey, look, hey, at least I mean, even though I'm not too celebratory and stuff, but I'm glad that you had a Father's Day, but every day is Father's Day and Mother's Day in my eyes. And I just want to say, hey, do not let the feminists cancel the day that they had, but at the same
They
time,
want
every
to
day is
abolish
Father's
that too.
Day. Hey, look, hey, look. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But they think everything is broke, so hey, it is what it is. But we can keep standing and fighting, brother. So you take your time, keep on pushing, and keep on doing it, brother. And I'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother. I appreciate it. Okay.
Got you, sir.
You take it easy.